What's up, Reapers? Welcome back to the Crypt. Finally doing my releases, my favorite releases of the year. The only ones, the only one that really matters in terms of numbers, my last one, which will be my album of the year. Last one doesn't really matter if you consider them a higher or lower ranking. These are just what I consider my albums of the year. I changed not one but two cases because my CDs fell and one of the cases cracked so bad that it literally was sticking out. I'm also missing some stuff. I know Transcending Obscurity had a lot from me that I had ordered. I'm also waiting on. I think I'm waiting for some more CDN stuff if I remember correctly because I did order a bit, but maybe my memory isn't serving me correct. There's one order from Transcending Obscurity. I have no idea where the fuck it went. I haven't even heard anything about it. I emailed them. They have not responded to that email. And I ordered it weeks before fucking Thanksgiving. So, with that said, it was like Fathomless Ritual or Fathomable Ritual and um Temple of Scorn. Those two new albums would have made this list if I had the physical copies. Obviously, if I get them in the mail, I will absolutely unbox them and say, hey, these were gonna be on the album of the year list. I'm still gonna include them, even though this is my video on that. I have two fucking tall stacks on releases, and this is even all my 2023 releases. That said, my lowest one is the Convalescence Harvester of Flesh and Bone. Saw these guys opening for, I think it was Signs of the Swarm Into the Grave. Great Wall of Death. This CD actually survived that. I think. No, it survived a different Wall of Death. Got a photo with the vocalist. Really cool dude. Just kind of cool blackened death metal. Nothing crazy. Nothing over the top. Next up is Dying Fetus, Make Them Beg for Death. I actually just got this. There were 3 albums I just got before making this that I was actually waiting, and this was one of them. Make Them Beg for Death. Really, really good album. Just kind of the same from Dying Fetus. I like how technical it is. Next up, this is another one of those. This is Carnifex with Necromantium. I hope I'm saying that right. I've been digging Carnifex a lot more this year. This is Black and Deathcore fucking legends. My favorite will probably be Die Without Hope for a while, but this is definitely getting more and more listens the more I listen to it, because yes, I will listen online. Next up is Burial Hordes with Ruins. Sorry. Great sort of black metal stuff. I don't really know how to describe Burial Hordes. I'm also very new to most of these bands. Next up, this is Disimperium with Grand Insurgents Upon Despotic Altars. This is like blackened death metal done absolutely fucking right. Just didn't spend a whole lot of time with it, but I enjoyed every fucking listen. Next up, Torture Rack with uh Prim Primeval Primeval Onslaught, something like that. Really good death metal from Tony Buck Spin. Next up, you're gonna see a lot of Gorehouse releases from this year. This is one of them. This is Display of Decay with Vitriol. Great brutal death metal. I think this is their debut, and it is a fantastic debut album. Ooh. Next up, Steel Panther on the Prowl. I was a bit harsh when I reviewed this. It has grown on me. This got a lot of playtime when it came out, especially after I saw them. My favorite Steel Panther album, period, is their album Balls Out. Um, I know a lot of people will say, "Oh, Steel Panther aren't good. They're glam, whatever." They were my number one on my Spotify Wrapped. I know a lot of people will give me shit about streaming. I don't care. I use it when I'm not around my CDs or I just don't uh, have a CD or whatever, or what have you. Um, but yeah, this is fantastic. Has one of my favorite songs of this year, that being 1987. Next up, ah, Jesus. Okay, I need to fix this case. I got this uh pretty recently. It says A Pretext to Human Suffering with Endless Cycles of Suffering. Really good BDM. Um Actually I have a little sticker. Um it's just overall fantastic album. Um Definitely not uh not as brutal as say Swine Overlord, but still very much brutal. Next up is some more Black and Death. This is Vile Ritual. I almost said Vile Husk for some reason. Caverns of Occultic Hatred. Oh my god. This was being after being just so good. I mean, I legit felt like turning my lights off, except for that one over there, and just letting an incense thing, some incense burn, and just kind of feel like I'm in Dracula's castle. This is just filthy, grimy, dirty, black and death metal that's very evil as well. Next up, Tribal Gaze with Godless Violence. This was my introduction to this band. I don't know if they have anything else out. Um, but I saw it everywhere and I went like, all right, I gotta check it out. And I'm so glad I did because it was not only the first Maggot Stomp release that I know of in my collection, it's also very um, gruesome sort of death metal. And I know that's a weird thing to say, like, isn't that usually what it's meant to be? Yes. However, there's one main thing about it, and that is this truly makes me feel like I have stuff just dripping down onto me, or I had like something crawling on me. I feel like a corpse entering the realm of death, and all these gross creatures are um, getting on me. Next up, we got Pharaoh by Left to Suffer. This is first time I ever heard Left to Suffer. And while it is a short album, it is by no means a disappointment. My favorite song off this is actually Disappoint Me. But you just feel the anger towards everyone in here. Next up is like atmospheric black metal sort of stuff, if I remember their genre tags right. It says Lunar Chamber with, I'm gonna butcher this, Shambolic Vibrations. Great EP. Not the biggest fan of it, which is why it's not in my top releases ever. The next stack I have is actually going to be on my top releases. Next up is Thorn with Evergloom. I actually have the shirt for this. Yeah, this is just majestic death metal, which is very weird for me to say. Next up is a band I've liked for a while. I just never really got anything until this year. I actually had my favorite album from them on the shelf. This is the second album I got from them. It took me a while to get this. This is Ahab with Coral Tombs. I like Ahab's very gloomy underwater aquatic death doom style. It's a nice break from talking about like dying in a cave under some fire. And again, while I said my favorite Ahab is if I can find it. Is The Giant. I was blanking on the name for a moment. This is absolutely up there. I do want to get more of their stuff in my collection, but as I said, I didn't get a chance to. This one I was really hoping would be my album of the year, but I didn't spend nearly as much time with it as I would have liked. This is Angerot with the Profound Recreant. This is awesome blackened thrash stuff that's just in your face, and it's very ritualistic. All the art that you see in here, all the symbols and whatnot, fit this album perfectly. And I mean perfectly when I say that. Next up is some more hardcore-esque shit, and I know a lot of people don't really care for core, but I listen to what I like. This is the first CD I bought from this band, and I'm so happy I got this. This is End with the Sin of Human Frailty. Or, yeah, Sin of Human Frailty. This is just more of that angry hardcore that they have. Very anger driven sort of stuff. Next up is some black metal. This is Frozen Dawn with the decline of the enlightened gods. Mouthful. This is some just nice cold black metal, very a bit atmospheric at times. Speaking of black metal, this is gonna cause some controversy because some people know I am part of LGBTQ. I'm pansexual, non-binary, and I know a lot of people will not agree with that. If you don't like that, fuck off. I don't care. This is some NSBM. This is Goat Moon with What Once Was Shall Be Again. I love Goat Moon. NSBM is hit or miss for me. I don't really care about ideologies when it comes to music. As long as it's not like talking about like pedophilia or stuff like that and like romanticizing that, that's whatever. This is another one I actually got today. Um, so actually I got 4 albums today. This is Grave Huffer with Depart from So Much Evil. This is just filthy, dirty death metal that makes me feel like I'm in like a mountainous area with like gravel, dust on my hands, and I'm just so good. Next up is some nasty death doom. This was actually sent to me by the band, and I'm still unbelievably grateful. Immortal Rotting with their self-titled. Really good album. Yeah. Probably couldn't see that, but whatever. Next up, I really wanted this to be my album of the year because I love this band. I was so hyped I got to see them. This is Invicta with Triumph and Torment. I didn't actually like this as much the more I listened to this. I actually prefer Halls of Extinction over this, but hearing them live, I actually got this when I saw them before it even came out. I was so ecstatic. Next up is a band my dad and I saw. Invicta was actually, well, all the shows I saw with my dad, but Invicta was opening for a band my dad wanted to see, and this is a band my dad wanted to see. I originally got this copy for my dad for Father's Day, but he got a signed copy for like $8 more along with some other stuff. This is Metal Church with Congregation of Annihilation. These guys were awesome live. Seeing them in the Token Lounge, it was also very cool how the new singer sounds like almost all the guys plus himself at once. And these songs, oh my god, I'm not huge into thrash like I used to be. I'm still a thrash guy at heart, or thrash person. But this is absolutely amazing. Next up is some more black metal. This is Orderly with Mass of Perdition. There's a band called Alderon. I wanted to get that new album, but I got this in a bundle with like 2 Alderon CDs, which were my introduction to both bands, and it was worth the purchase. Next up, this just fell short of being a favorite. This is a great death metal EP, Penny Coffin, Conscripted Morality. Alright, now we get to the final stack. These are my albums of the year. First up, one that shocked me because I was not a huge fan of this band, and now I'm actually a pretty big fan, and I'm actually seeing them with Cannibal Corpse and Amon Amarth. I am talking, of course, of the legendary Obituary, Dying of Everything. This immediately got bought and played as soon as it came out. So worth it. Next up is one of the brutal death metal albums of the year. I have the shirt from I have a shirt from this band. I don't know if it's for this specific album. I don't think it is. This is Torn the Fuck Apart with Kill, Bury, Repeat. I love Torn the Fuck Apart. Finally got something of theirs in my collection. Next up is a slam band I absolutely adore. I know it's kind of weird because I now own everything that they have done on CD. I just need to get it on cassette and vinyl. I got a shirt with this. I do like anime. I have no shame in it. I'm not like those cringy people who are like, oh my god, this person's my waifu. No, the fuck they aren't. Shut the fuck up. Dehumanizing Idolatry worship with Otaku Slam. Otaku Slam anime aside, sorry. I love this. I don't know if I prefer this or their split with Cheerleader Concubine. But it's still a very fun album. Very experimental too. Next up is one that I feel like is very much expected from this year. This is Begrayment with Horrific Illusions Beckon. This is fan-fucking-tastic. When I got this in the Metalhead box, I spun this for a solid month. As well as this next one, which is Bacterial Husk with Anthropogenic Ruin. Great death thrash. Begrayment is great death metal. Both are incredible. Next up is one of my favorite deathcore albums of the year, period. I hated this band going and seeing them live last year. Came out a fan. I bought this when I saw someone post it. I think it was Classy Metal, Lonnie. I was like, oh shit, I gotta buy that. Of Sulfur with The Burden of Faith. Great blackened deathcore. I do like the cleans in some of the songs. I like some of the guest appearances, such as Alex Terrible and Howard Jones and Lindsay Schoolcraft. Next up, another fantastic album from this year. This is Hanging Fortress with Suspended in Torment. I should have known that. I'm sorry I don't remember all these names. It's hard on the brain. This is fantastic Ohio death metal. I absolutely adore it. Can't get enough of it. I listened to that hundreds of times the year I got the day I got it. Next up, I got this for Christmas recently. This is signed by the band. My dad got it when I saw this band. I know a lot of people didn't enjoy it as much as they hoped, but to me, I love this band to death. This is the band that got me into death metal, period. I'm talking, of course, about Cannibal Corpse, Chaos Horrific. I even have the hoodie and the shirt that I pre-ordered. The hoodie I got when I saw them. Next up is an album that really took me by surprise because I'm not huge into Doom. I know that's weird because I've had a few Doomy albums here and there, but this also has gothic elements. Um, Tribunal with The Weight of Remembrance. This was absolutely fantastic, breathtaking. Holy shit. Next up is the thrash metal album of the year. I actually got a picture with the guitarist of this band when I saw it in Invicta opening for Heathen. It was doing merch, and when I actually realized who it was, I was like, yo, can I get a photo with you? Got a photo with him. He was super nice, super chill guy. I really want to see them. This is Raider with Trails by Chaos. I did not get mine through the Metalhead box. I actually bought this when it actually came out. Gabe was an amazing dude to talk to. I love Raider. So obviously, next up is my black metal album of the year. This is, I'm gonna butcher the fuck out of this. Venusural Cardinal, something like that, with Altars of Dungeons. Hold on. Venues. It's on the back, that top. I can't fucking read that. Yes, this is my black metal album of the year. This was so fucking good. I don't know how they did it. I bought that so late into the year, and I'm so disappointed because it is so good. Next up is my metalcore album of the year. This is one of my favorite metalcore bands. This is Unearthed with the Wretched and the Ruinous. When I got this, when I heard that this was out, I immediately bought it, and I had it on for months. With my favorite track being Broken Arrow. I like the chanting in the title track where he goes, "No heroes, here's zero, no heroes." So fucking good. Unearthed are amazing, and to me, definitely worth your time. Even if you don't like them, metalcore genre. Next up is, oh wait, I had these switched. Sorry. Next up is one of the deathcore albums of the year. Saw these guys live. Dudes are awesome. Stage diving was incredible. To the Grave director's cuts. I know this is re-recorded songs, but fuck you, it's my list, and it's counted as a 2023 release, so I'm going to count it. To the Grave has become one of my favorite deathcore bands. I do love Epilogue, and the fact that this is a 2-disc album with a bunch of good ass songs that they re-recorded is awesome. I believe they are Animal Rights. Which is even better. Next up is, if I remember correctly, Deathcore Album of the Year, Sons of the Swarm, Amongst the Low and Empty. Saw these guys with To the Grave. Has probably my song of the year, which is Pray for Death. I actually have the long sleeve for that. This is, while lengthy, it is also very quick, very to the point. The vocals are, well, yes, they are the vocal gymnastics, which I have kind of started to hate which I know is weird because I like To the Grave and Lorna Shore and Infinite Annihilator. This was one of the first like slamming brutal deathcore bands, if you want to call them that. I know they're more like just straight brutal deathcore. You know, they were kind of in that slamming area. They really got me into the genre, and I fucking love them for that. Next up is my EP of the year. This is Blackened Technical Death Metal, which I thought would not work, but it surprisingly did, because this got so many plays for me. Demon King with Vizania. Great Blackened tech death. I would have never gotten this if it wasn't for Classy Metal, Lonnie having posted it, and then I actually remembered him posting it at one point, because I did really enjoy it. Next up, this is also signed. Another very quick album. This is Kel Decapitation with Terrasite. Awesome album. Again, lengthy, but so fucking good. Please check it out. Storm Upstairs, Scourge of the Offspring, We Eat Our Young. All of the songs are good. Solastalgia. And finally, my album of the year. I saw these guys live in January. I have a beanie, I have a sweater, I have a t-shirt, I have a long sleeve. I want this on vinyl. I'm going to be getting the rest of this band's stuff. I say stuff, well, albums on vinyl as well as CD when I can. MySpace era deathcore that is very grindy, very amazing, super well done. This is much more about mental health, and I think it caught me at the right time, as I was going through some stuff at the time with the death of my friend. Dudes are absolutely incredibly nice, and that is none other than See You Next Tuesday with Distractions. Every song on here, while some of them, like Why Can't You Behave, are more of that just straight up funny, degenerate grindcore sort of style. Others are straight up just about mental health, such as Glad to Be Unhappy, I'll Never Smile Again Anymore. I Had the Craziest Dream. This is absolutely my favorite album of the year. An honorable mention, I didn't get the vinyl yet, would be the new Supreme album. I'm forgetting the name of it off the top of my head. It's a more metal album. But yeah, go check these albums out if you haven't already. I can't imagine most of you have probably heard a good portion of these or all of them. With that said, thank you all for watching. Thank you for subscribing. See you whenever I get mail, or I will see you in the new year. Keep it grim.